he bought the ATV music publishing catalog, outbidding Paul McCartney, the very man who had taught him the value of owning songs just a few years earlier. There were no headlines at first, no public outrage, just shock behind closed doors. Because for the first time in modern music history, a performer, not a label, not an executive, controlled the publishing rights to the most powerful song catalog in the world. And from that exact moment in 1985, Michael Jackson stopped being seen as a pop star and started being treated like a problem the industry needed to deal with. What followed was a chain reaction that would shape the rise and the slow collapse of his career. Years before the industry ever turned on him, Michael Jackson was quietly studying something most artists ignored: ownership. In 1981, while spending time with Paul McCartney, Michael listened as Paul casually explained how he'd begun buying up publishing rights after losing control of his own Beatles songs in the late 1960s. Paul talked openly about how publishing, not touring, not albums, was where the real long-term money lived. Michael didn't interrupt. He didn't argue. He absorbed everything. At the time, he was still transitioning from a former child star into a solo powerhouse, fresh off the wall and about to release Thriller. But that conversation planted something dangerous in his mind. The idea that artists didn't have to stay dependent on labels forever. Over the next few years, Michael began quietly educating himself. He met with lawyers, studied catalogs, and watched how publishing deals work behind the scenes. While the industry saw him as a perfectionist performer obsessed with dance moves and visuals, he was building a completely different kind of strategy, one that had nothing to do with the stage. And by 1984, just as Thriller was cementing him as the biggest artist on the planet, Michael had already decided on his next move. He wasn't just going to dominate music charts. He was going to own the music itself. But the opportunity he was waiting for was closer than anyone realized. And when it appeared, it would put him on a collision course with the entire industry. The bid that broke an unwritten rule. By early 1985, the ATV music publishing catalog was officially on the market. The company, founded by Lou Grade, controlled over 4,000 songs, including most of the Lennon-McCartney catalog. Music that powered radio, film, television, and advertising worldwide. Industry insiders expected the catalog to end up with a major corporation or quietly return to Paul McCartney. What no one expected was Michael Jackson to step in as a serious buyer. At first, executives dismissed the idea. Michael was seen as a performer, not an owner. Someone who made hits, not someone who controlled the assets behind them.